Now, Count on 2, live and local in the Low Country. This is News 2 at 6.
Good evening, I'm Carolyn Murray. North Charleston police are investigating a father tonight after his infant was left in the car and passed away. Just before 6 o'clock last night, North Charleston officers were called to Roper St. Francis Hospital in West Ashley, where the child had been taken. We are told the incident actually happened in North Charleston. News 2 Sophia Arizosa is live at North Charleston City Hall. And Sophia, tell us what you've learned so far about this incident.
Carolyn, North Charleston police are investigating the death of that child after they were pronounced dead at a hospital in West Ashley. Officers say they spoke with the parents at the hospital, the father telling officers he was supposed to drop the infant off at daycare after leaving his home in James Island, but forgot. The child then stayed in that car in the back seat after a day's work. Officers say the mother went to the daycare facility to pick up the infant. Workers told her the child was never dropped off. They say she immediately called her husband, who checked the back seat of the car to find the child unresponsive. No charges have been filed, but the case is still under investigation. Reporting live in North Charleston, Sophia Arzosa, Count on 2.
A Count on 2 news alert tonight. A student at Trident Technical College was arrested today on the main campus in North Charleston for having 2 guns inside of his car. North Charleston police tell us that no threats were made and the student was taken to the Charleston County Detention Center. No word on charges that student faces. We will bring you more information about this story on air and online at counton2.com. 1 week ago today, a 4-year-old boy here in the Low Country fell into a river in Georgia. Crews have been searching the Bibb Pond area of the Chattahoochee River ever since. Bo Rabin and his father Ryan fell in while fishing. Ryan's body was found on Sunday. The family recently moved from the Low Country to Georgia. Search crews got a late start this morning because of the weather that passed through that area. Tomorrow, when the search continues, crews will receive new sonar equipment from the South Carolina Department of Natural Resources. Today, the city of Charleston gave people in the area a chance to learn more about the Charleston Police Department's upcoming audit. That meeting was held in an effort to clarify what will be reviewed before the search for an auditing firm actually begins. News 2's Libba Holland was there and explains the outcome of today's meeting.
Today's meeting was a productive one as the council members decided on a scope of work for the project. That scope of work is essentially a contract that will go to the consulting firm and act as an outline for the audit of the Charleston Police Department.
If you look at, as Councilman Gregg,
This meeting has been a long time coming for members of the Charleston Area Justice Ministry.
This is the first time that I really felt that the Charleston Area Justice Ministry was given the due respect.
The faith-based group, known as CAJM, first called for the audit back in 2015 after it received many complaints from community members about racial bias within the police department. A consulting group was chosen for the audit, but CAJM deemed it unqualified. So in December, Mayor John Tecklenburg called for a new group to be hired and begin the auditing process again.
We've worked very, very hard. We've done the research. We've been in the community, and that was recognized today.
The audience today listened to the council outline the scope of work for the new audit. The main goal?
Is there bias in the way that the police conduct themselves in engaging with the community? That's the bottom line question.
In short, the audit will look at the way the police officers engage with the community through traffic stops and other confrontations, and it will also analyze the best practices within the department and other neighboring jurisdictions.
You know, and the end point is that we have a city where there isn't racial bias.
A new scope of work will be drafted up and the council members will vote on it via email. Then the group will reconvene and discuss further the solicitation of the consulting group for the audit. In Charleston, Libba Holland, Count on 2.
All right, Libba, thank you. Well, take a look at these pictures behind me right now. These are renderings of what the International African American Museum will look like. Many donations have poured in support of the project, and starting this summer, construction will begin. News 2's Deanne Roberts is live in downtown Charleston at the site where that museum will eventually be constructed. And Deanne, the museum is waiting on millions of dollars to come from the state.
That's right, Carolyn, 11 million to be exact. Construction was expected to begin early this year right here at the old site of the Gadsden's Wharf, but that construction may be a little delayed. 75 million, that's the budget for the International African American Museum. 25 from private donations, 25 from state legislature, and 25 from the city and county combined. Currently, the state has given 14 and raised 23 million in donations. I spoke to the director and CEO of the museum, who says they're very close to the finish line, and former Mayor Joe Riley says when they cross that line, it'll all be worth it.
Right now, we are sprinting to the finish to conclude our capital campaign, what we call our Founders Fund. It's been $75 million, and we've got about $2 million to go.
So this is a museum. It's also a memorial. It's a site of honor and respect that will be a real gift to our country.
State senators will discuss adding an additional $5 million to their budget this year to go towards the museum. Riley and Moore say that's enough to start construction, which now has a new target date of this summer. Reporting live from downtown Charleston, Deanne Roberts, Count on 2.
All right, Deanne, thank you. After nearly 40 years, the city of Goose Creek has a new mayor. City Councilman Greg Habib defeated Michael Heitzler last night. News 2's Stetson Miller spoke with him today about his plans and priorities moving forward.
Incumbent Michael Heitzler, who has served as Goose Creek's mayor for 40 years, lost to city council member Greg Habib on Tuesday. Habib had only 68 more votes than Mayor Heitzler in the largest voter turnout in the history of the city. The election started out rough, with voting machines malfunctioning when the polls opened. Voters had to use paper ballots for several hours. But officials at the Berkeley County Election Commission say the system worked just fine despite the hiccup.
We had to go to the paper ballots, but that's how the system is set up to work. If there's an issue, we switch to paper. Those ballots were counted last night before we ever left City Hall.
When he takes office on May 7th, the mayor-elect says he plans to be strategic, transparent in the way he governs, and proactive in managing the city's growth. He says he thinks Goose Creek is behind on economic development and wants to start working on it now.
We've got a corporate park that needs people to come and invest into it. And so, that's going to be the difference, is we're going to be looking for those people to come to invest in our community, actively looking for people to come and invest in our community.
I reached out to Mayor Heitzler, but he was not available for an interview today.
In Goose Creek, Stetson Miller, Count on 2.
Stetson, thanks. Allegiant Airlines is now officially operating out of Charleston International Airport. The first Allegiant flight flew into the Holy City for the first time today. Passengers on the inaugural flight from Pittsburgh were welcomed with a ribbon-cutting ceremony. The low-cost airline is the airport's 8th airline and reaches 27 cities on nonstop flights. Most 8-year-olds cannot wait to open presents on their birthday, but a local child is using her birthday to give back to others. News 2's Macy McLeod joins us in the studio with more.
Well, Carolyn, Kaylee Anderson isn't like most 8-year-olds. She asked people to bring supplies like toothpaste, stuffed animals, and blankets to her birthday party. All of these items are going into buddy bags. They will sit in Charleston police cars, and officers will hand them out to children in distress in situations like car wrecks or house fires. Kaylee says it's something she can do to spread a little joy to other children.
I am pretty sure that all of the buddy bags that I give, it will be really happy, and I will be really happy. Everybody in my community will be happy because of the buddy bags.
This is the second year Kaylee has donated her birthday to creating buddy bags for Charleston Police. Macy McLeod, Count on 2.
Next on News 2.
She was stuck with gift cards when a spa closed their doors, and when she couldn't get answers, she called our investigators. In tonight's Call Collect report, we tell you about key options to get your money back if this happens to you.
The 5th day of the Volvo Car Open featured some big names and some big upsets. I'll have highlights coming to you live from the Volvo Car Stadium. That's coming up later on in sports.